Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Chef's Table. I am super excited to have you guys here with me today. We are going to be talking eBay. Now, I was, kind of going back into this whole thing, and I thought to myself, do people still build businesses with eBay? Is it still something you can do? Hey, everybody. And, how do you mute out a tab so that you don't have any feedback when you're, talking on this channel?
Talking live.
Right. So, the one thing I thought is like, is eBay still a viable business building place, right? Because I know it's been around for a long time. I remember that there was a lot of training going around a while back about eBay and drop ship and all sorts of crazy stuff. And so, I thought to myself, well, Jeff, you and I have been friends for a long time and you still do eBay marketing and selling. And I was like, huh, there's still an opportunity for so many people out there. So I've invited Jeff Beeman because he is an expert in eBay. He has been an eBay seller for, I'm thinking what, 4-5 years now?
2015, mate. No, probably before 2009, actually, I think is when I started.
So definitely, it's been a while since he's been on here, and he's gone through all the ups and downs, and he still continues to use it, and he still continues to profit from it. So I was like, okay, this would be an opportunity to bring Jeff on and really kind of talk about, eBay as a business. He's like, I'm still
packages going out today, actually.
I love it. So first off, one of my big questions I have to ask in the very beginning, Jeff, is what made you decide to be an entrepreneur?
Well, that's a good question. I think because I got started with a very popular network marketing company back in 1986, 87, showing my age quite a bit. But yeah, I got started with a network marketing company. I got invited to a hotel meeting, like many people do. And that kind of started me, the wheels turning of, I don't really want to work for somebody else forever, or at least I would like to have some control, even on a part-time basis of a business. And back in the day, that was the thing to do and the company to be with. So spent a lot of time in and out with that, and it's just carried over. I've just always felt that desire to, again, be a little more in control and not have to worry about coronavirus taking your paycheck away. If we want to come zipping right back into current events.
Yeah, for sure. So you got started in a network marketing company. I'm guessing it starts with an A because from the sounds of it, it was pretty much the biggest one around. And then you found yourself in the world. Like, how did you find eBay? Like, what was it that drew you to eBay and the whole idea of selling or even drop shipping? Like, what was it about eBay that drew you? Because you've been at it. Like, you have been consistent with this. You've been staying in this lane for years. And I was like, most people kind of drive in and out of this one. So what drew you to eBay?
Well, I don't know exactly what I can say drew me to eBay. It was just I think because online businesses were becoming popular at the time, and just kind of fell into the right spot with, I had something I needed to sell, and I thought, hey, let's try this. And it sold fairly quickly. You're not going to believe this. I sold a piano. My first ever eBay sale was a piano. Okay.
Wow. Okay. That's putting it out there. That's going pretty ballsy bold out there.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. We're not going to ship this thing. Luckily, eBay has this neat little deal called local pickup only. And the father of a daughter who wanted a piano, they were in the southern part of our state. They drove up, they picked it up. Every transaction was taken care of on eBay. I was kind of hooked from then going forward. It's like, okay, so at the beginning, I just messed around with it, sold a few things here and there over the year, until we've kind of built up to more of a consistent daily thing now. So
got it. So you mentioned something, because I'm so eBay. I know enough about it because we've talked about eBay for a long time. But you mentioned something about local pickup only. do you have, I mean, I've heard words like drop ship with eBay. I've heard things like shipping. Like, is it expensive to get started with eBay?
Uh, Expensive? No, not really, because you can literally start with items in your house. If you've got stuff that's been sitting around, still has some value to it, things that may not even have been opened yet, and you're like, I'm going to get to that one day. That one day may just turn out to be go ahead and list it on eBay and sell it and start learning how to do it. It didn't cost you a thing, other than a little bit of time to learn how to set up and get it sold. When you get into some of the other areas of eBay, like drop shipping, for example, drop shipping can still be done. It's not as a formidable way of doing business on eBay as it used to be. There's been a lot of changes, as with many platforms out there. There's always changes going on. You just got to keep up. And unfortunately, the style of eBay drop shipping that I was doing kind of got nixed by eBay. For so many years. They were fine with it, no big deal, but all of a sudden they changed their policies. So I had to go back to more of the traditional style of working on eBay, and that's bringing the physical products home, going out and buying stuff, sourcing, auctions, whatever the case may be, garage sales, yard sales, thrift stores. And it's fun because you get to learn a lot about different items.
Okay.
Number one, you might find something you're like, okay, what's that? And you go research it and find out, oh, it's worth some money. So let's go ahead and sell it. So yeah, I'm more back into the traditional style of eBay, but also along that lines, looking at how can we help other eBayers learn to do what we do and actually turn it into a business more so than just a hobby for a few extra dollars.
Got it. So that brings up the question, because you were talking about how you're just selling stuff on eBay. Now, when eBay first got started, it was more of like an auction type thing. Like you put a product on there and you bid for it. Is that still something you can do on eBay? Because honestly, I haven't been on eBay in a while. Or is it more now of like this is the price, do you want it or not? Like, can you price set? Like, what can you do with it?
Oh, absolutely. You can still do auctions. Of course, eBay, I'm not really 100% sure what year eBay started, 98 maybe, somewhere in that
Something like
range.
that. It's been around for a while.
Yeah. But the first thing ever sold was an auction for a pin, a laser pointer type pin that didn't work. It was broke. Somebody sold it. First ever eBay item sold on eBay. But yeah, the auctions are still actually very, very much alive and viable. There are people that do very well with the auctions. It takes a little bit more of a learning curve to really know your inventory and what items will sell well on an auction. The buy it now, however, is probably the prominent, well, not probably, it is the prominent way to sell on eBay. Just like any, I won't say just like any, because we're dealing with mostly pre-owned items. Of course, there's people that sell new items, but we're dealing mostly with pre-owned items. So yeah, you stick it up there, you put a price on it, maybe make it available for offers, and that gets to be fun if you like to negotiate, and you go from there. But auctions are definitely viable. It's just like I said, it just takes a little bit more of a learning curve, and making sure you're going to be okay with, you might only put stuff on there for 99 cents, and that's exactly what it sells for. And then you're going, oh, I can't, how am I going to ship it for 99 cents? You got to put in the pricing, shipping, and fees and so forth like that to go along with what you're doing.
So that begs the question, do you get to know your post office fairly well?
Yeah. And right now with the current events, very fortunate to still have, access to the post office and being able to drop stuff off. My smaller town, my post office, the ladies in there recognize me now when I come in, hi, how you doing? When you drop off. So that's nice. And some of your bigger city folks, I have no idea. They may have to wait in line to drop stuff off. I don't know. I find it very nice though, that when I go in on a busy day and my packages are already pre-labeled, prepaid for, the whole 9 yards, and there's people standing in line patiently waiting, and I just walk in, drop off, turn around, walk out, hi, see you.
So that also asks the question, how can you do that through eBay? Can you auto create those labels for drop off and everything else? Like, what's your average, like, I guess, like, what's the average cost between packaging and shipping it out? I mean, are you building that into the price of, or like, how does that all work exactly?
Yeah, but yeah, that gets into a whole hour long session of
Oh,
talking
okay. So
about
there's extra training you can do on this.
yeah, yes,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, shipping is one of those areas that a lot of eBayers, especially new eBayers, tend to struggle with for a while. Big learning curve on shipping. Once you get it, though, you get it. So, an average cost can't really say there is because there's so many different variables in the shipping. There's the weight, there's the size of the box. There's USPS, United States Postal Service, offers a lot of different things, flat rate shipping and priority shipping and first class shipping. Um, Most eBayers try to stay with the smaller valuable items to keep that shipping weight as low as they can.
Hmm.
They all love to have small items like this. This happens to be a Star Wars piece going out, by the way. You and I are both Star Wars geeks. Um, so that's a first class size package going out there for $4 or something like that.
Okay.
We always want to stay with the small items, but you do have to deal with the larger items also. And then you can, if the USPS is a little bit on the pricey side, then you got to start looking for UPS or FedEx. There's some other shipping services out there, and it's just a learn as you go kind of thing. There's
Hmm.
tons of YouTube videos on shipping and saving costs on shipping and how to ship, and it's amazing, really, when I watch some of the other eBayers, and I just started. I had already known how to do this, kind of forgot and relearned how to take a box that's got like an Amazon box that's got a bunch of writing on it and turn that box inside out. So you got a nice looking, clean, blank sided box to use instead of having all the scribbles and stuff all over it. So tons of different things in shipping that can just go on and on and on.
So you can like flip an Amazon box that you get in, turn it inside out, and then use that to ship out something for your eBay business or something like that.
Yep, reusing boxes is a huge priority for eBayers.
I love it. So, what would be for those getting started? What would be your tip? Like, what if you could say, "Hey, you're just getting started on eBay," what would be something you would say to somebody just new?
Practice with the items you have in your home first.
Okay.
You want to put up, 5, 10, 15 listings. Again, digging through those closets, digging through your storage unit, whatever stuff that you bought it and said you were going to use it and never have. A lot of people will tend to start off with clothing, and that's okay as a practice item. I'm not a big seller or promoter of selling clothing because it's very heavily, what's the word, saturated is the word.
Mm, okay.
Now, unique clothing, certain styles of clothing, and so forth. A lot of people still do well with that, but your average everyday type of clothing, other than for the practice of listing, really you're probably not going to make any money or not going to make much off of it. So yeah, that's where I would start. Look around, and that's basically what I did. I started with the piano that we had that we didn't want anymore. I always tell everybody I've sold everything from a rock to a piano. Literally have done that. So.
Oh my goodness. All right. So if they're just getting started, start with something inside their house first. Get to know and understand the shipping from that perspective, like what it's going to cost. You might have a couple little fumbles where you're going to maybe not make the money or whatnot in the very beginning or something like that. You're learning the process. So is there an inventory? Like, I know you talked about going out to like yard sales and estate sales. Like, how often do those, well, I know right now we're probably a little bit in a shutdown around that one, but how often do those types of events around you happen? And what are you going there and looking for, I guess?
Well, there's a lot of eBay gurus or trainers out there that'll tell you to buy anything you think you can make $1 on.
Mm,
I prefer to go more of a niche route, especially for somebody new getting started. If you have a hobby, Star Wars, if you see the Star Wars stuff in the background, okay. So yeah, I mean, that's a niche area to sell in. And sure, I'm always, I'm looking for the Star Wars items when I go out to those sales. But yeah, I think starting off in a niche area is easier for somebody new because, again, we talk about learning curves. There's a learning curve to every category that's on there. Trying to think of something I just listed this morning. Let me find it. Bearcat radio scanner. I don't know anything about radio scanners, but it was in an auction that we purchased. And so I get to research it and find out a little bit more about it. And now I know I've got another electron. If I come across some more somewhere out there, I've learned a little bit about it, and I can go ahead and comfortably pick it up at a price that I, know how to price it. And the money is in the buying, flat out.
Yeah.
You've got to learn before you hand out the money. Are you going to be able to turn that for a profit? And what profit margin do you want to be at? 10%, 20%, 50%,
So you can get 50% profit margins if you're buying correctly.
You can get 70 and 80% profit margins.
Good to know.
Think about going to a yard sale where they're just trying to get rid of items, and they may have a collectible that they've got $1 posted on it. That collectible may be worth 50, 60 bucks. So you can turn some decent money around, and you got to be a fair buyer and say, no, you're only charging $1 for this. I'll give you $5 for it because it's worth a little bit more than what you're charging. Sometimes you find yourself in those situations where you need to do that.
Okay.
Other times people are just trying to get rid of stuff and they don't care. Just take it. And you can take it home and turn it for a decent profit. So
it's so interesting because you're really talking about almost like being good to the environment, because you're taking things that people are tending to throw away. And we always say that, somebody else is what they're trying to get rid of can be somebody else what they're looking for. Right. So it's interesting that you talk, because I've heard you and I've seen you talk about going to estate sales and everything else. Is it fun to go to those, or is it like, do you plan for it? Do you have to do your research? Like, what is it that it takes to go to these type of events?
Yeah, a little bit. Once you get going, if you're doing it for more of a business style of selling, you definitely want to plan and organize a little bit better than just a random situation. Is it fun to do it? I wasn't really into the fun side of it, I guess, for a while, but as more I've done it, the more fun it becomes. Sometimes you feel nervous because I know what I'm there for. I'm there to look for something I can turn for a profit. Other people are there just because they want to buy stuff and, this is something new and I don't have that, add it to my collection, whatever. When I go into a sale, though, I'm looking at it going, okay, what do we got that I can turn for a profit? And you feel a little bit uncomfortable sometimes going in there and you're picking something up and you're thinking, well, anyway, it's just a mindset thing that you go through as you're learning how to buy and what sales you go to. But definitely there's apps out there for garage sales. My area doesn't do real well with people listing it on the app, but the big city areas, you got garage sale apps and you just red dots everywhere for everybody that's having garage sales, and you just route yourself, a big circle, however many you want to try to get to that day. I'm more of an auction buyer. I like to buy in volume.
Okay.
As much as I can. Larger estate sales, auctions, storage unit auctions. That's one of the fun ones. Is talk about treasure hunting. When you're buying a storage unit, you're buying what you can see up front. You don't know what you're getting in the back until you get into it. And we have bought some really good ones, and we bought some real wow. I can't believe I was silly enough to do that. So, so that there's a lot of fun in that as well. And auctions. Storage unit auctions especially are more online now. With the big storage wars TV show and stuff, people got involved. The live auctions are getting a little tougher to find, even more so now with the current situations. And where I'm at here in Indiana, you got to factor in weather and winter time and stuff like that. So garage sale season should be starting for me right now. Of course, we're on hold for that. So I'm looking online at the storage units because I can still buy a storage unit online, go pick it up, no social contact other than maybe a little bit of something with the storage facility owners, and get in and get out and be done with it. So there's a lot of different things. Some people like thrifting only, going to thrift stores, Goodwill, so forth. Some people love their yard sale, garage sales, which I enjoy those as well. Estate sales, storage, or not, yeah, estate sales, regular auctions to go to, and then storage unit auctions is kind of a sub niche.
Got it. So what's on average? I mean, overall, not just for you, but what's the average income an eBay business can make? I mean, does it vary? Can they make thousands of dollars, or is it more of like a couple $100 a month kind of a thing?
Yeah, it can get into big money, quite honestly, especially as you learn and develop your network of people to buy from.
Hmm.
There's a lot of the bigger sellers that, again, they buy in volume. Um, they'll go out and actually find a retail store that is closing down and go out and negotiate and buy out the rest of the inventory. And these guys they got warehouses full of stuff. So
I
yeah,
didn't
there's
think
big,
of that.
yeah, there is big money in it. And even on the average everyday and out of your home situation, if you've got okay storage room, or if you have to go, maybe, which I have rented a storage unit a couple times for inventory, yeah, you can build up a pretty good inventory, and you get, yeah, $100 a day is a very, very conservative deal if you're working it consistently.
Hmm.
Getting into the $1,000 a week or $1,000 a month, you're gonna have to scale it up a little bit, and you are gonna have to really learn the products that you can turn the biggest profit on and know where to go find them. And again, that just comes back down to research, networking, and making the right connections to find those more valuable or more easily turnover profitable items.
Are you teaching anything like that? Are you teaching basic eBay marketing, or like how to get started with eBay? Is there anything that you do personally or anything you can recommend for those that are watching?
Yeah, I'm not, I haven't developed my own training, let's put it that way. I put out information on YouTube, and you can find me easily on Jeff Beeman online on YouTube. And I've got a lot of eBay videos on there, as do many other eBay and YouTube just kind of seem to go together like a hand in a glove. I don't know why, but that's where all the eBayers and resellers hang out, is on YouTube. So yeah, I've got training out there as far as free training goes. I
Okay.
have not developed a class yet, which I think we're going to work on. Something to get, to help somebody who's ready to advance past the basic setup and learn how to brand themselves as an actual business. That's a little thing with eBay I've noticed over the years, especially now that I've got to know more of them through YouTube and through networking, that they don't really take it on as a full-fledged business and learn how to brand their business.
Hmm.
So that's an area I think that needs development and needs some help for some eBayers to learn that they can do things outside of just the eBay platform.
So really I'm helping them like kind of scale and grow their business. Have you ever heard of, now this was something that just popped into my head right now. I'd heard of um, businesses like Shopify has done this. I know a couple of entrepreneurs that help people build up their store, their inventory on Shopify, and then they help them create an exit plan to sell that. Can you do the same thing with eBay? Could you build up a viable eBay business and then sell it? Or is it because it's more auction, that's not a viable source, kind of like you would with a Shopify business?
Well, I know what you're talking about. I haven't dove into that real deep yet. A lot of your bigger Shopify
Shopify.
businesses, they do tend to deal with more of newer items, and there's a lot of ways out there to teach the advertising for e-commerce and so forth. So yeah, I could see, because you're probably buying out their not only their inventory but their resources for getting new inventory and so forth.
Got it.
eBay, as your regular everyday eBayer, I would think it'd be a little tougher to sell the business side of it. I do see eBayers that are ready to move on to other things where they will sell out their entire inventory,
Okay.
things like that. So yeah, I'd have to dive into that a little bit more to see if anybody actually just, basic resell, basic eBay, if you could sell your business. I don't know if that would be a plausible way of doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think for those that are, well, and the reason I have you on too is because, times are tough for a lot of people. A lot of people are saying, hey, I don't know how to make money. I don't know, what to do with, with no check. I've been laid off. I've been furloughed. I've been I mean, we're hearing things in this economy we haven't heard in years. Like I'm on furlough, which means you're getting paid for time off that you're not even there, right? You're have to use your sick time. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of crazy stuff. So I know people are looking for ways to maybe bring in that little extra income to help support them during this time where things are just a little, I mean, a lot uncertain, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why I love what you said in terms of if you're going to get started. Now, is it hard to open an eBay account? Is it difficult to open a first eBay account?
No, it's like any other platform. You go in and do your basic setup, name, address, and all that good stuff.
Okay.
There's options there that you can just do regular listings. I think you can start out with they kind of limit you a little bit. eBay and PayPal is normally the platform to be used for transaction of money, but eBay is now redeveloping or rolling out a new payment system.
Okay.
And I'm not on the new payment system yet. I'm still sticking with PayPal because I like it, but they are going to force me into this new payment system here soon. And PayPal and eBay kind of had a little separation of business. PayPal is supposed to be back into it eventually, so
Okay.
that's a whole nother story. But to get started, yeah, it doesn't take much to get started. Get on there, set up your account, get your first listing, watch some YouTube videos on how to do listings and what you need to look for when you're doing a listing, and you can get started pretty easily. The only thing you have to watch out for as a brand new eBayer is that they will hold the money on your first sale or two, because they got to make sure that you're a real person and that everything the transaction went through correctly before they will release the money. Now, once you get going, no problem whatsoever. Once somebody pays, it's in your PayPal account or whatever account, transfer it over to your bank, whatever you want to do with it, you're good to go.
Got it. So yeah, that makes sense because I remember when I first got started with PayPal, they held the first couple of sales I made just to make sure I was really a business person, and that I fulfilled on my promise of what I was delivering, right? So they want to make sure that the transaction is actually taking place and people aren't getting scammed. So I mean, it's for your protection. So that's always a good thing. So really, it's simple, easy to get started, set up. If I could speak, I could. So pretty simple to get started on eBay. You can look for items in your home right now and you could start putting up there, and you can set it up so that it's a buy now and not an auction, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It used to be you had to be on eBay for a while before they allowed you to do the buy it now, but now it's an automatic thing. So
Okay.
that's where I would start until you learn a little bit, and then maybe play with the auctions on occasion. On occasion, I throw an auction on there if it's something I think that's going to pull in some views and some bids.
And you usually do like a base bid, right? So if you're doing an auction bid, you want like a base and it can't ever go below that amount. It can only go above with that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
I like this. So you mentioned that you do have a YouTube channel. For here down in the description for the YouTube, for those that are watching us live, I will drop that in the description. So Jeff, if you can make sure I have that. And any other resources, like if there's a certain guru that you like to follow, I know you said go to YouTube and just, watch a couple videos, but if there's anyone that you would like to specifically point us to, at least in those first couple of videos, someone that you trust, I think that's going to be a bigger resource for those that are watching that want to get started around it, that are looking for at this time to bring in that little extra income, because there's always something around your house that you could probably sell even right now that, could bring in a couple extra bucks just to, support you during this time.
Yeah, and I might add too that with the issues going on right now, there's a lot of people that have kind of like, oh, nobody's going to buy anything. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. No, that's wrong. You need to be pushing. If you're going to get started now. People are, because they're home, they're looking for things to do at home.
True.
That is the hottest selling items on eBay right now, is keep yourself busy, keep the kids busy stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a great time to get started and get going, and it can quickly roll into a really nice part-time income or full-time income. And I also wanted to comment on the fact that, you and I do a lot of marketing. You've got marketing business and training and so forth out there. There's a lot of people out there looking to go ahead and be working with online marketing, network marketing, affiliate marketing, whatever, but they really don't have the funds to get started. This is how I keep my marketing business going, is by selling on eBay. So I just wanted to throw that out there also.
So this is a good way that you pay for like advertising. You can pay for other things too. So it does help for those of us that are online learning this online marketing world. There's another way to kind of pay for everything, I guess, again, ahead of time so that it doesn't all have to come out of your pocket.
Exactly.
Super smart. That's good. That's a good one. Because a lot of times say, oh, I can't, I want to take that coaching or I want to take that class or I can't do it. This might be a way for them to be able to, make those purchases or buy those courses and trainings that they're looking for that can help them continue to build their business, and they're using it through just items they have around their house or things that they can get locally.
Exactly. Yep. It works out real nice.
Love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, Jeff. Well, I know that you are very busy. You've got a lot going on. You've got some packages to ship out today. So I do want to thank you for your time and your expertise and just sharing with us that the power of eBay, and that it's still a tool that we can be using and that we can be, using it to build an income right now. So, I mean, really, I just thank you for, perfect timing, if anything. So thank you for jumping on with us and sharing your knowledge. And you guys, down below will be the link to connect with Jeff. Definitely follow him on YouTube. He's puts out incredible videos. I remember the first time I met Jeff many, many, many years ago.
How many years ago was it?
It's been a while. And we were both jumping in on YouTube and how to use it as an effective marketing tool. So I know he's got some incredible videos out there. So definitely follow him, ask him questions, pick his brain around eBay. And, hopefully soon or rather than later, you'll have a course out there that we can, dive into and learn from you. Because while the gurus are great, sometimes it's nice to have somebody that's in the trenches with us, showing us what to do. So I would love to have the opportunity to learn from you, and those that watch would love the opportunity to know what you know about what you've shared with us, from pricing to packaging to just getting started. I mean, really a wealth of knowledge. So again, thank you.
It's still, yes, eBay is still a very viable option out there to make money from. And thank you so much for having me on the chef's table today. Very honored to be here. And yeah, if I can help you out, I'll help try to point you in the right direction. Just get in touch.
Yeah. And he does have a website, I believe, that maybe is a little off topic, but you definitely want to be on his newsletter and emails and stuff like that. I know he talks a little bit about golf also. So for those that are golf enthusiasts, definitely your man, or wherever he's at on my screen. But definitely connect with Jeff, learn from him about eBay. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today at the Chef's Table. And we'll see you next Monday. Have an amazing week. Talk, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, Jeff.